Good evening, and welcome to Xbox 7's X-Pod Tavern, episode 115th. I am Jamie on this wonderful Sunday evening, where I'm definitely not half asleep. And this week I'm joined by MPV Graham. MPV Graham, please come in. How are you?
Hello, I am well, thank you. How are you?
I'm spiffing as ever, if not a bit sleepy. We've also got Millie Man Ian coming back. Millie Man Ian,
hello.
Welcome back after a week off.
Thank you. How are you?
Spiffing. Did you have a nice week? Where were you last week? Why weren't you here? Everyone missed you.
I was seeing my mummy up in North Wales.
Oh, isn't that? And is she well?
She's very well. Thank you very much.
That's good to hear. Hello, Ian's mummy.
Hi,
Not creepy at all.
I wasn't sure whether it come out creepy or not, but I think it had just the right nail on the head. Yeah, just
Number
right
2 podcast listener, or is Ian Mum?
She could be our second biggest fan. Right, gentlemen, we've got lots of things to talk about this week, but we're going to keep it fresh. We're going to keep it mixed up. We're going to talk about games we've been playing this week because we've got lots of interesting things to talk about. Let's go to Millie Man Ian.
Okay.
Get me words out. Have you got a second? Do you want to tell us about one of the games you've been playing this week? Perhaps Kart Rider Drift?
That's what game we talked about. But yeah, Kart Rider Drift.
Yeah, let's go with it.
But yeah, I decided to start playing this because I thought it was free. Free game, can't go wrong. You thought, give it a go, see what it's like. I had a couple of Xbox friends playing it as well, and they were streaming.
Hang on,
it
you've
live.
got other friends?
Other friends, I know.
Hang on a minute. Graham, do you know about this?
Kart friends? No,
Kart friends.
Oh, Drift friends.
Drift friends on. So yeah, I thought it was free, so I started playing it. And I saw that the achievements were quite difficult on it. And
Ian, you've retired. Stop it. Stop doing it to yourself.
So basically, Graham has called it. I have now officially entered another Xbox achievement competition. Called at the start of the year. So I got pulled into it by Ross, from our tavern, not Scottish one, the other one. So I got dragged back into doing it. So basically, I saw this achievement, and people were playing it. It's good fun with friends, and it's quite good, heavy on score. So I thought I'd give it a go. It's actually it's kind of like discount Mario Kart, but not very good. So, yeah. But it's still fun. I think if there's some modes which incorporate, like you have to drift to kind of get boosts, but you can obviously have modes where you actually just like Mario Kart, where you have power ups and you shoot them, and then when you drift, you kind of boost. But there's other modes where you can actually, if you drift, you kind of get like a bar along the bottom of your screen, and that turns into a boost, and then you can use that to boost. And that's only the mode. That's one mode you got where you can keep doing that. There's a few other modes like team-based modes, like say like other, because maximum 8 players, so it's like 4v4 or 2v2v2v2 or 3-4.
Is it always fun enough?
No, so it's 3-4. So there's all you can do. One
free for all.
Yeah, so it's all different ones. So there's those 3 different modes you've got. So they're quite good in a way. So it helps you. Maybe if you have a co-op friend, you can kind of go in together, and then rather than just like fighting it out, whoever gets first or second, it's you can kind of take turns in playing each other. You can, however, sabotage each other as well. Though I found out. I think Max and I shot one of my teammates, and it's like, I'm not sure if I could do that.
Is there like select characters, or is it any sort of custom involved, or how does it work?
Yeah, so the way you can do it, you can customize your characters. There's a few characters involved, but there's nothing. So far, I haven't really noticed any need for them. It's just mainly like you customize what characters look like. It doesn't like add anything like weight difference and stuff like that. You can obviously personalize your card and like the way your boost looks and how your character looks. So again, it's really just more for like customization rather than that. There is obviously where you can actually unlock certain elements to your card to make it a bit more powerful.
Okay.
But then there's also modes where you can just have like the basic mode where you can literally not, if you haven't got, like when you begin, like my cart's really shit to begin with. I can't really do anything with it. So I just do the basic mode, and that kind of everyone's on level playing field. So yeah, it's really good fun.
Don't want that to.
Yeah, not till towards the end once you've boosted your cart up. Yeah, and I find it's quite cool. I just use the robot basically. The kind of I always have a fun thing for like, especially towards the beginning of playing the game. I just use like the basic skin. So I've got the basic like looking guy who doesn't really look anything special. It's all cross play as well, which is really cool. So again, people who play on the PC and stuff, got a couple of friends on PC only, and also had myself on console with my other mate. So it's quite good fun that way. So you kind of like, it's not just locked to Xbox and just locked to PC. It's cool. I think it's PC, Xbox, and mobile phone. You can get on your phone as well. So that's good. And I think progress carries over as well. So that's quite cool. So if you do more stuff on your phone, you can carry over to the console. But it's installed by your card rider account, basically. So again, you can obviously boost your card up a bit more to make it a bit better on the go.
Is there any sort of like battle pass? Because you said it's free to play, right? There's no
Yes.
There
is a battle pass, but again, I didn't really look into it much. I noticed there was one where you have like 2 different tiers, like the top tier where it's all the unlocks, the basic stuff, and there's one below where you got all like the swooshy looking ones.
Yeah.
But I haven't looked into how much it was at all. I kind of just went straight into the game modes and started playing with that. I didn't really get a chance to kind of look at the other side of things. I did have play fun with the cosmetics, but again, when you start, you get fuck all really. Obviously, all Xbox players pretty much as I'm playing Xbox, everyone's using the same bloody fucking Xbox skin.
Yeah, I just saw in that trailer. It's like a skin for the cart rider, the actual cart, and then trinkets
some
as well.
Green looking like robot guy. Everyone's wanting that, so it's like, ugh. So I just go to basic robot guy. It's got like a yellow hat.
You can't have. They not understand. You can't have the same people in the same colors.
I know.
I
know.
They never play games with you before.
I know. How could they? Disgrace. But no.
And the important question I should ask, really, you said you've been playing this as part of a competition. Have you got the 4000G yet?
Oh, nowhere near. I haven't even. I've literally like one unlock at the moment. I've got a couple.
You said it was hard.
Yeah, a couple preloaded, but no, nothing there yet.
Fair enough.
I'll get there though. Maybe we'll see. It's a juicy score, so it does help. And yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely more fun. I would find it that it's more fun to play with people than with solo. But you can doping solo. But like I say, these kind of games where you're kind of racing against friends, it's more fun doing that way.
Yeah,
especially the team race as well. You race with a team. I say get one buddy along with you and do team play or something like that, and that's good fun. But I mean, like I say, you can just drop in and out. But again, sometimes you find that you never know who you're coming up against. So
yeah, well, Xbox is crying out for that. They haven't really got like a decent thing against sort of Mario Kart or anything. So
no, they haven't. No, so that's the thing. It kind of does kind of push the kind of Mario Kart boundaries there, but I don't think they've executed it okay. Because obviously it's all cross-play and stuff, but I think they need a bit more like. I think I'm trying to count in my head, but I'm pretty sure there's like I want to say about 6 or 7 power-ups you can use, and they are quite overpowered as well. Like one of them was like a seeking missile straight to them, takes to the person you're shooting who's in front. So they can be miles away. As long as you lock on and shoot, they'll take damage and stuff. And it's like again classic banana peel. There's the one where it just does lightning bolts to everyone. So again, there's a few of things than the traditional boosts and stuff, but there's not really anything that's that might actually stop people.
Is there a decent selection of tracks as well in this so far?
There's a good, I think it's about 16, so there's quite a lot. Okay. I think it's 12 or 6. I would say 16, but it might be 12. Again, I didn't really do the track selection, I just kind of did random. But I want to say it's quite a good selection of tracks, and they're all a bit different as well. So it's not like and they've got the classic shortcuts as well, so you can actually have like bits where you're playing shortcuts and stuff. So if you are kind of falling back behind, you can take a quick shortcut and hopefully try and catch up.
Nice. Yeah, I think, like Grace said, this is something that Xbox is missing. And I briefly played the beta a long time ago. I don't really remember anything about it, but I didn't realize it had come out free to play, as it were. I thought it was like a paid purchase, so maybe we could all jump in at some point and have a.
No, I definitely think so. I'll definitely be
action.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's good fun when you're playing with other people's and shoot them down. Like I say, it's full free to play, so you can just jump on board and play, give it a go, see what you think.
I don't know if I missed it or not. Did you say how many races were in a race?
So you can do as you want, really. So you can do it just like race per race, and that's it. We could do like a little tournament, which I think it's like 4 races in it. But I think you can just do like you say, just race, pick whoever wins, and you just kind of move on to the next track. There's nothing like stuck into where you actually have to do like Mario Kart, where it's like you win, you get so many points and stuff.
How many people?
I haven't done those modes. 8, so 7 in you, so 8. But again, I haven't fully explored all the modes yet, so that's the thing I might do this week. Maybe if I play again with my mate, is just kind of explore the other modes and see what's there.
Fair enough. And before we move on to Graham, one more question about this competition you've entered again into, even though you retired.
Yes.
You've just started. How long have you got? What's the aim? Are you aiming to get top place again? Second, have you got any big competition on the wings?
So mainly I think I'm probably last about 4 or 5 weeks. It depends because I'm going on holiday soon. So obviously I don't want to be playing whilst I'm on holiday. So I'm just kind of plodding along for a bit just to kind of be involved. Obviously because it's done per week. So whilst the week's off, I'm not really scoring. If my teammates carry me to the future weeks, by all means, I'll probably try when I'm back on holiday. But obviously there's 2 competitions, solo and teams. I definitely won't be in a solo much longer. Probably, well, it's only week 2 now, so I'll probably last about week 5 or 6 until I can't score when I'm on holiday.
You're not really going to get many achievement points for playing Tears of the Kingdom, are you?
No, exactly that. So when that comes out, that's probably my life when I'm on holiday. So unless there's anything quick and easy I can do on the PC, because I don't really want to take my portable Xbox with me when I'm going to like Miami and stuff. I kind of just want to take my laptop with me because I have to take my laptop with me for work. So I might just take that with me. And if there's anything decent I can play on the PC to help out the team, I might do on the evening whilst I'm winding down. But yeah, nothing crazy.
Fair enough.
Should Pete prepare for a lot of indie games to suddenly appear?
He might have to prepare for that. Yeah, there will be some random shit popping up in his account.
Clear out your hard drive, special guest Pete. It's all coming to be installed against your will.
Suddenly going cha-ching.
Nice.
It's all the niche ones now because it's all obscure games you got to play now for the harder score.
I was just thinking, I've played a few games recently that you got 1000 G in, but if I can get 1000 G, and I'm pretty sure everyone else,
yeah. So you got to find those niche games. Like I think last year I fully played Street Power Soccer because it's so niche and annoyingly difficult on some things and long. That was my life. So
exactly. Oh, was that the rubbish one that was on there into Game Pass that I reviewed?
The 3v3 one, like Street Power. Ball out all day, all hours. Get an action streak.
I commend you that fucking thing.
Hearing that repeat constantly was a theme. Ball out all day, all hours.
I'm getting goosebumps already. Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Well, I've got one more question to ask you, but I'm going to ask it off air because we probably shouldn't discuss it here. Right, Graham. Let's get into your game of the week. You're playing a bit more Loop Hero, I see.
Yeah, getting much further on it. I was because as you progress because it's a roguelike thing. You unlock more things as you progress and bring more resources back to your base camp after you've either bailed out and escaped on the camp or you've been killed. And so with the resources you buy extra different buildings like silos or smitheries or just smelting plants, anything just basically to develop it. And so I've unlocked 2 classes, the Necromancer class and the Rogue class. And the Necromancer class of just, it's a completely new mode. Like, it just makes things so much easier because you just keep raising skeletons. And as they kill them, you raise more and more. And you just, that picture on the screen is something I haven't seen before. But yeah, the first boss that you come against anyway, I was edging closer and closer. I only faced him once as the warrior, and I got my ass handed to me. So I thought I'll take it a bit more cautious. But with the Necromancer, I finally managed to beat the guy. But as you saw from that screen, that wasn't that end boss guy. So I managed to beat what was possibly the first boss bit. I've got past that part anyway.
And plenty to go through still then.
Yeah, I think there's only like 4 more things like buildings I haven't unlocked, but they need resources that I just don't have, and I don't know how to get them. So I'm kind of at a bit of a sticking point on that game, which is a bit of a shame because like usually they give you some sort of criteria of how to get the resources, whether you have to sort of defeat squares where there's 4 or more enemies on, or you have to defeat certain types of enemies to get those resources. There's just no clue on how to get those ones, and those ones kind of look like they change up the game quite a bit because they're terrain cards. I think it's the top end where it's like river, forest, and something else. So they changed the map up a little bit. But it's just
it is on my radar to play for this competition. So my mate who's been part of the competition as well, he's fully 1000 G'd it. It took about 25-30 hours. But he's
okay.
ridiculous at something. But he said there's a few things he can do, so I'll try and reach out to him and let him find out. Because I think there's so many, like I say, there's still different stages to bosses. Like I think the last one's called Omega or something.
Yeah.
He's saying he's ridiculous sometimes, but there's a few things you can do to kind of stop it being so RNG heavy.
Yeah, so a lot of the tips I saw online they said to be the rogue and use the armory, which means you get an extra piece of equipment, and that way you can stack your evasiveness, so you barely get touched, which is fine, which is the long game, but I still need the middle game bit to unlock the other areas. I'm just not getting the right resources, so maybe I just need to hold out after I kill the first boss. I just need to keep looping a bit more, and suddenly those resources might suddenly appear. But that's currently where I am anyway. So I've progressed quite a lot in that game, but currently at a sticking block where I just need to unlock those next kind of areas to sort of take the game to the last stage or section, I guess. Yeah, it's good fun, but it's a bit repetitive now. I mean, it always was, but it's now become.
I guess the whole word would loop
because I can't. I know what you mean, but unless you're just striving to get to the next bit, but at the moment, because I don't know how to get to the next bit, I'm just looping the loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So credits.
So that's where I'm got to with that one anyway.
No, it's one of those games where it's quirky enough to pique my interest. So I think I'm definitely going to give it a go. And it's one of those ones where it's like I say, I could probably install on my laptop because it's not.
Oh, it's tiny,
yeah. So it's one of those ones which is on my radar for when I go away because I know I can easily play that on my laptop and it won't grind my laptop to a hole.
That and it's semi-autonomous. You only have to place blocks, and the rest of the game just plays by itself.
Exactly that. Yeah. So I think I'm going to definitely give it one of those ones where I'll give it a go. But yeah, I think I might start giving it a go early so I know how to play it and stuff. So and learn a few things.
Yeah, enjoying it. I just need to get to that next step.
Highly recommended Game Pass pickup then.
Yeah, I would say so. And what about yourself? What have you been playing?
Well, one of the games I've been playing this week.
Please don't say Resident Evil.
I mean, I've been playing some Resident Evil, but not a massive amount. I've been playing.
Oh god, I've missed all the talk of Resident Evil.
I mean, I can fill you in, Ian, if you like. It's not a problem. I don't mind, retreading old ground.
No, it's fine.
I've been playing a lot of interesting and different games this week. A couple of which I'm not allowed to talk about just yet, but a couple of which I am. One of which is Murderous Muses, which is a live-action FMV like murder mystery type thing. It comes from the people who made the Dark Knights with Poe Monroe. I don't know if you played that one.
No, I've got it. Is that no? I think what's the one I'm thinking? I think the Russian one. She's red.
She's red. Yeah. They also did the Last Detective and the Bunker. That's just Studio Devecchio.
Oh, I did the Bunker.
Yeah. So this is their latest one, and rather than just being live action where you watch a video clip and then you make a dialogue choice, do you save the puppy or kick it into the river or whatever? This time you're running around a first person 3D environment, and as you
actually move yourself.
Yeah. So as you move around the environment, there's like paintings up on the wall, and if you interact with them, they play the FMV clips, but they're only like between 5 and 20 seconds long. And the idea is there's these 6 portraits that were painted by this guy called Mordecai Gray, and a year ago he was murdered by one of the people that he painted, and you have to take their portraits to the wall, and underneath every sort of area where you can place the portraits is a different word. There'd be like desire or murder or love, hate, all these sort of things, and as you click on it, it plays a different clip, and each person's got a certain amount of keywords, as you can see in the trailer just there, where you've got to find those words to then unlock like their police investigation clip, which will then give you more information as to whether they might have been there when he was killed, or if they got a decent alibi and stuff like that. And it took me a long time to get my head around. I went through the whole game first time, which is about 4 hours or so.
4 hours? Wow.
I completely cocked it up because I didn't understand the tutorial. I missed the gist of what was happening. So I was just watching all the clips I could and then be like, what am I supposed to do now? So then I go back to, because it takes the place over 3 nights. So every night, each picture gets 6 chances of like getting the right clip.
Okay.
I was just going to the wall and putting it on, watch, and completely misunderstood. So when I went through the second time, once I realized what the fuck I was supposed to be doing, it was a lot more enjoyable, obviously, because I was playing it properly. And yeah, it's a case of finding the words, because once you put the picture on the wall and pick the word, when you take the picture back off the wall, the word rotates to and there's like a list of them, and it rotates to the next word in the list. So that's how you then, if you'll need a word, you can use other pictures to sort of rotate that block around to get you to the right word again. And it's a sort of like a little puzzle game of trying to place the pictures in the right place at the right time in order to sort of maximize the available uses they've got. And there's also hidden rooms and extra puzzles and stuff to do as well, which I didn't enjoy the puzzles so much. They're a bit not basic, but they felt unnecessary. Like I would have rather just had the clips and then been like, well, I think this person might be suspicious, sort of put a little mark against their name or something. And then
does it change or is it always the same?
A big pun?
I said, does it change or is it always the same sort of?
It's a randomized run every time. So each time you play, you get a seed, which will give you like a unique number, which you can then put in to play the same sort of section again, or you can just hit new game and it randomizes who the killer is, what words they need, what clips play, what puzzles you get, what order they go in, etc., etc. So I didn't actually. I've played it through 4 times, I think, and I didn't once get it right because I just obviously not a very good detective. But
that's what I like. I was thinking because that's good because see some games you play where it's like it's set in stone, so you can find
you know exactly who it is, so you just lean everything towards it.
Bit like anything like that, you just lean towards it, straight away that's the person, so you kind of push up. But the fact that it's all seeded. That's what I like about it. So I love those kind of games are quite unique as well. When they see, like, example, Hades, it was always every level was different every time you did it through because it's all done on seeded ones. That's why I kind of like those things when they do that. Even Minecraft's always seeded.
It's very, very clever the way they do it. And I was a bit concerned at first because I thought, well, they're playing. Say you click one person on love, you click them on love on the next time, it's going to play exactly the same clip. But they use so many different words and so many different unique clips that even if you are playing the occasional same one, most of the time you're playing something different to try and work with the police investigation as well as any other clues you might pick up. That it sort of works out. Again, I didn't get any of them right, but it shows how.
So you don't interact with them. You just listen and that's it.
Yeah, so when they play their clip, it's not like you then be like, do you believe this person or not? You just listen and sort of have to sort of make a mental note or write it down or what have you. There's nothing in the game that says this person was here when they said they were here or anything like that. It's all up to you to deduce it and stuff.
It's like LA Noire with like doubt.
A little bit, yeah. And there was also when you're not doing that, the part you sort of play as this night watchman of this museum where all these pictures are, and part of it is hanging up pictures during the day that get delivered, and the more you get in the right places, the more chances you get in the evening to try and figure out who the killer is, the more clues you get. And it's very clever. Like I said, I did terribly at it, but I still enjoyed it. And then there's lots of other stuff to unlock that extra story about each of the characters by selecting certain words, and where if you unlock the secret room by completing the puzzle, you get more sort of backstory and lore to the whole island and the Mordecai Grey and all the other characters and that. So there's a lot to see, a lot to do. I think there's something like 7.5 hours of video clips, and I've only watched about 3 over 4 runs.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot to see, and like I said, depending on the random sort of nature of the puzzle and all that. But yeah, I recommend it. It's not my favorite FMV game by a long stretch, but it's
I think more of the ones where you can actually like interact with people. When someone's asking a question, like, oh yeah, I can do that. But then I think it's very random. I kind of piques my interest more because obviously, say for example, those ones like Late Shift and stuff, there's a set story that happens, and obviously you may have like 7 different endings, but then obviously you can lean to one of those endings. But the fact that it's random every single time with the per seed,
and the good thing as well, not only is it random in that aspect, but each night you watch a video clip by I think it's Clemens Corey. I can't remember his world name, but my first few runs, each 3 nights were the same. It was like, you got to solve where the key is, why this substance was in his room, and why the killer used a phone. But then on my last playthrough, all 3 of them were completely different. So it's not just, you haven't just got to figure out the same 3 clues over and over again. It's like completely different sort of scenarios you got to figure out based on difference. Yeah, there's a lot to see, and it's good. It's good. Like, I would have preferred probably, like you said, Ian, if it was just watching a few clips and be like, hey, pick A, B, or C, and then go all right, now C, D, and E type thing. But
Yeah.
no, it's different. It's an interesting take on the FMV thing, and well worth a look, especially for you. I'm pretty sure you can get some pretty quick achievements in it as well if you need some.
Maybe I'm gonna have to steal your account.
Well, that's what it's there for, sir. Anyway, what else have you been playing, sir, when you're not hunting achievements?
So I've gone back in time to when we had a lovely game of Project Game Pass, and that I avoided because I had no friends to play with. Called
Boo.
Escape Academy.
Nice.
When did we play Escape Academy? God, it was August last year, wasn't it? Something like that?
Yeah,
something ridiculous. Yeah. So I finally started to delve into Escape Academy. So I'm doing it with Rebecca. And yeah, it's good fun. Obviously, doing it co-op, it does help quite a bit because I guess solo is a bit too easy, especially because I think it's more built in on the co-op aspects and stuff with kind of working out with someone. She's a lot quicker at figuring things out compared to me. But every now and again I do. I think one of the puzzles I accidentally worked out somehow, even though that wasn't the way it was. I think it was one of the ones where it was, I can't remember what map it was, but it was like a puzzle where it was like, had loads of even numbers and then like even, and then you had like some weird numbers and I couldn't work out what the letter was. And I was like, I think it's this letter. I was like, and the thing is I worked out completely different to the way it was meant to work out, but we got through it.
You got the right answer. That's amazing.
That's it. And it's quite a good way, especially some of the ones time, especially where there's stuff like locks, where it's like, if you work out two of the numbers, reality is you just put those two numbers in and it just goes slowly through the top one. And eventually you'll get unlock the thing because obviously you know two of the numbers are there and it's like a padlock with three numbers.
Yeah.
So, in that kind of way, you can kind of crack it quite easily.
You're bluffing your way through or sort of forcing your way through.
Yeah, exactly. Because obviously you keep looking around, but again, you're time limited. So you don't want to waste too much time.
I don't think we ever ran out of time. I think we did on
one, yeah.
It still haunts me that.
But both of us, we just could not figure out that fucking puzzle forever. And then
which one was that one? Because so far we've gone for all of them.
Where you have to get the guy out of the prison.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah, I did that one. Yeah, that was fun. That was easy. That was one of the easier ones.
It's easy.
There was one specific part.
The only one part that we struggled on. Other than that,
and it was it like the second to last puzzle bit? Wasn't it? We had one more thing after that, and would like take about 10 seconds.
Was that creating the key? We had to go up and down.
It was trying to turn off one of the security.
We did get stuck on a little bit, but Jay managed to work that bit out. It was the coding.
It was the one before that where you got the code on the back of the turret, and you got to figure out the number based on the images on the turret's like shell.
And it gives you like clues to what the numbers is. Like 2, it says there's a D or something like that. 1, like 4D, as in 40. Like that.
Nonsense. I think we worked on that quite quickly. I think
it was the last page on that freaking thing that me and Jay were just we just went so complex, and we just kept ramping up the complexity of trying to get to the bloody number. We were just missing the obvious things slapping us in the face.
Yeah.
We were like you said, we were thinking up here somewhere, and it was like the answer's right down here somewhere.
Yeah, so it's good. I mean, I'm really enjoying it. Like I say, it's just trying to figure things out and take your time. Some of the puzzles have been like we've kind of got a different wavelength of thinking. So some puzzles I go straight, that's what you have to do. And she's like, what? And then you just do it. And, oh yeah. But the same thing with some other ones. She's like, just goes through it straight away and does. And like, oh okay, I'll just follow you through this door.
Yeah, sometimes it's best to do
balance each other out, isn't it?
Yeah, and also you can separate yourself. So you can go on one side of the room, you can go on the other side of the room, and work things out. Especially where there's like say 4 elements in one room. You can work on one side and get 2 of them, and she can do the other 2, and it's quite cool in that way. So yeah, really enjoying it. I think we're about 6 or 7 levels. The last level we did was like in like some weird kind of greenhouse kind of thing.
I was about to say you got to that bit yet.
Yeah, that's the one. We just did that one, and then we stopped. So yeah, I think definitely finish off this week, so I can give my full review of it next podcast, which should be next week. I'll be on. But yeah, really think thoroughly enjoying it so far. And now you can have only 4 members voted. I can actually put my vote in.
Taking your login out. No, you just play with Dan as well.
I'm not sure my blood pressure could survive that.
I don't know, that clip we were just watching of Ross playing. He was playing with Dan, and I remember him being incredibly calm and collected when he was playing.
So funny.
And that one time, I saw later on in the stream, and I've seen him play Halo together. So
yeah, it's always good fun when we get everybody together, especially with them two. Right, Graham.
Yes.
Tell me all about the game you're still playing. A little title named Like a Dragon. You shouldn't.
Yeah. So I have been determined to try and get that game finished because I've been faffing about with side quests too long in it. There's trooper quests which you can do, which are like sort of little dungeons which you can do to sort of get sort of higher rated gear, sort of swords and stuff. And I've completed all of them, and my gear is now like top gear. There's side quests left, right, and center. I've managed to find a bit of equipment that tells me where all the other side quests are. So I've been going through. I think I'm about 90% through all the side quests. So I have been literally doing too much side quests and not enough main quest. So in the last sort of couple of days, I've managed to steamroll about 5 chapters. I think I'm about 2 to the end now. And yeah, it's good. I mean, the story, like I said, it reminded me of the first Yakuza game with the level of kind of grit and the same sort of thing involving orphans and betrayal, and it's all still there and it's all unfolding kind of how I was expecting it to. But yeah, as I found out, like not recently, but this game is actually loosely based on a real story of how this guy brought down the sort of the Tokugawa shogun in Japan. So it's still the way they've done it anyway. It's still quite cool to sort of play it through, and I'm determined to get it finished. It's definitely, as you expect, an old school style Yakuza game rather than a Like a Dragon game, because it's not turn based or anything. It's kind of real time combat and stuff. But yeah, enjoying playing through the story now that I can finally do it without faffing about with side quests. Not that the side quests weren't fun; they were just as quirky and weird and wonderful as they always are. But yeah, it's good, and I'm determined to get to the end of it just because I love those games, and I'm sure there'll be another one around the corner. So I want to get there before another one appears out of the darkness.
Yeah, they've announced like Yakuza Like a Dragon 8.
Yeah. Oh, it was supposed to be a partnership of
anytime soon.
Kiryu and Ichiban. So I'm curious to see that one. And so yeah, I definitely want to have this done before that gets anywhere near.
I think you got enough time to get through it, get to the end, finish it off, see the conclusion, and then work your way through the entire series again before you get to number.
Well, I still need to go back. I think I'm still stuck on 4. I think it is. So I still got plenty more to go through.
Get them all done before the end of the year.
See, the thing is there's only 3 Shenmue games, Grace. You might as well play through them and just bin off this Yakuza nonsense. Eh?
I think they made Yakuza. They
has some taste.
People, yeah, it's like Shenmue. Has a following, and people like Japan, but we need to actually make the game fun. So it's like
outrageous.
I see.
Blasphemy.
So Yakuza is like a fun version of Shenmue.
Yeah, but you can't go and find a kitten to. I'm sure you can actually.
There's definitely cats and dogs all over the place in this game.
Well, maybe one day I'll finally check it out. But you're enjoying it. That's the main thing. Enjoying a bit of not medieval. What's it? Right word? I don't know. Ancient history.
Greece.
Yakuza action.
Yeah.
Greece. Fucking hell, Ian. Right, let's move on.
Ancient Greece.
Ancient Greece. That's
I've been playing another game, like I said, plenty of interesting sort of indie games this week, including this one, which is The Last Worker. It's just come out the end of March. I was looking forward to playing it, and I just sort of missed getting my review up around that time because I was busy being on holiday and things like that. But the idea of this is the first person narrative adventure / puzzle game, which is very loosely but also quite directly based on being like a worker in Amazon's fulfillment center. So here you play a worker called Kurt who works for a company called Jungle, i.e. Jungle, which is sort of a bit on the nose, who works in a fulfillment center delivering packages, and some of them are prime packages that need to be delivered faster. So yeah, a little bit on the nose at times, but it's more about like the dystopian future it could possibly bring with the world has ended, this company's ruling everything, they've got robots doing everything, people are sort of extinct almost, or like being wiped out slowly but surely by robots everywhere. And there's their end stage capitalism, which is always a fun topic. But the gist of the gameplay is that you deliver these packages. You sort of fly around on like a hover. I think it's called the Youngle pod, they call it, and it's just an excuse for you to float around, basically. Grab the packages, drop them either to be delivered or to be recycled because they're damaged or they're wrong size or weight or what have you. But that side of things is not necessarily the most interesting, because once you sort of got into the gist of that, I think you do maybe 2 shifts, you meet a character called Skew, who's like this little robot flying buddy that you've got, and initially he's like gone a bit haywire, and he's to go takes you through the tutorial. Once he comes back to his senses, though, he's probably one of the funniest characters I've seen in games for a long time. He's got like this real thick sort of Mancunian accent, and he's just dick jokes and swears all day long. It's fucking brilliant. He's so funny. And he sort of takes you through some other levels, and you end up sort of going behind the scenes and trying to take the man down and all that sort of goodness. And you meet some other characters as well that help you along the way. It's probably like 4 or 5 hours it took me to get through, but really enjoyable, just like first person puzzle. There's a bit of stealth, Gray. I know you like a bit of stealth. There's a bit of action. There's a few bits where there's like insta kills if you get caught, but the checkpoints are really forgiving. So even if you do get caught, you only go back a few seconds anyway.
Okay.
And what I put in my review, which is up now on xboxtavern.com, you go check it out, is that although it doesn't do much sort of necessarily unique, it does it with a nice enough sort of style and flair that it sort of makes it stand out on its own, and it doesn't make anything last too long. So like I said, you're doing deliveries, which is definitely the worst part, but just as you start to think, fuck me, I'm bored of this, then you're off on a bit of an adventure, sort of sneaking around the back of the fulfillment center, or planting a nuclear bomb somewhere, or trying to rebuild a robot to try and take down the sort of overlords and stuff like that. And then you're back to doing a bit more delivering, and just as you think, fuck me, I'm doing it again, then they put a bit of a twist on it which you sort of don't expect. And yeah, it's just interesting from start to finish. It's very VR heavy because it's a VR game as well, and I think it's obvious it was developed that at first, because all of the interactions are characters sort of floated right in your face talking to you, and then there's a lot of right hand, left hand stuff, which is easy enough on the controller, but I think it'd definitely be a lot easier on the sort of VR.
Can you pick up for your VR headset you got?
I probably won't, because I've obviously beat it now. I've seen all 3 endings, because you can go back and just do the end when you get to. But I'd like to try it, because there's one aspect of one of the sort of outside delivering bits where you're hacking doors, and it's like a 3x3 grid of shapes, and you got to spin them around quickly. And to do that with your hands, like motion control, I think would be a lot easier than fiddling around with the sticks, because it was a bit clunky. But yeah, generally it sort of felt and played just as well as any other first-person game, really. And it's, like I said, Skew's very funny. Kurt, the main guy you play, is very funny. And there's a lot of dad jokes and uncle jokes, as well as just out and out, just smut, really, in terms of the humor. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I couldn't sort of put it down. It was one of those games where you sort of start it at 8 o'clock, think I'll just play for an hour and see how far I get. And then before I know it, it's at 11:30. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here already? Jesus Christ.
Decent.
Yeah, really, really highly recommended. Like I said, my review's out now. I think I gave it a 9.2.
Oh, wow. Ooh, high.
I've seen other reviews since that have given it 9s and 10s all over the place. So yeah, really, really worth checking out. And again, Ian, I think you can get some easy Chivos in there as well.
Mad to my heart.
Well, I was going to have a look until we said the word stealth, and then yeah, I'm gone.
Trust me, when I say stealth, great, it's more
stealth.
It's like incredibly small sections, and they're more along the lines of. Did you play Beyond Good and Evil back in the day?
Briefly, I didn't complete it. But I was going to say
the stealth sections in there sort of reminds me of that, where it's just a case of waiting until someone turns around and then you walk past them, and then that's that bit done. You ain't got to worry about sneaking back past them or anything like that.
Don't try to say it's not like you mentioned itself.
I'll play Beyond Good and Evil, the first one, when the second one gets release date. So what, 2050?
So never then. Right, cool. Anyway, yeah, so go check out The Last Workers. It's highly recommended, whether you play it on VR or not.
Happy days.
Right, gentlemen, as I should have mentioned earlier on, Scottish Gruff Ross isn't here. So, do you mind if I give you a quick plug-in? Is that okay?
You can plug me all
Go
day.
for a self plug.
Nice. I'm all about the self plugs, you know. All right, let me just get my plugs up. Right. Right, I'm warmed up. I'm ready. He says he's ready. They've gone right. Anyway, you can find us on patreon.com/Xbox Tavern official. That's the main Xbox Tavern. Sorry, that's the main one we want to get to. If you go over there and support us for, I think the lowest tier is a couple of quid a month. That would be wonderful. We can keep doing this podcast. We can
Less
maybe
than
get
10p a day.
Exactly, get some better equipment. You know, do various things and pieces on there. I forget all the perks we've got on there, but there's a few bits and pieces.
Jamie will do a show topless.
I might even get my hair out if you're lucky. How about that? Whoa.
Oh,
If it's still available by the time you subscribed, of course. Yeah, you go check us out there. That'd be mighty appreciated indeed. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, wherever you want to get your podcasts. Just ask Jeeves for Xpod Tavern, and he will direct you in the right direction. Hopefully, 5-star reviews and all that goodness, please. Wonderful, thank you very much. You can find our written stuff, as I just mentioned, about The Last Worker and more, which I'll tell you about later on xboxtavern.com. That's where the main meat of what we do is. You can find us on the socials, which are definitely rolling on the bottom of the screen right now, and I didn't forget to click the button on Twitter, Discord, TikTok, all sorts of places. That'd be wonderful. And then finally, our good friends at insertcoinclothing.com have got our code working. So Xbox Tavern 23 for £5 off orders over £50. They got a decent sale on, as I mentioned last week. I picked up some stuff. Got my Resident Evil Village t-shirt on today. Ian, what did you have? Sorry.
I've got a niche Destiny top.
Nice. So yes, we're all big fans of Insert Coin here, and they've been very good to us, supporting us over the years with this discount code. So yeah, Xbox Tavern 23 for £5 off orders over £50. And if you can't spend £50 on insertcoinclothing.com, you're doing it wrong, because there's so much stuff. And I'm looking for I think my other orders should turn up in the next couple of days, so I should be wearing something new and exciting next week.
Ooh.
Gentlemen, that was a very stumbly but a very quick and efficient plug. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yep. Quick moist plugging.
Always good for a good plug-in. Right, gentlemen, we've talked about games we've been playing. Let's get into some news, shall we? Wait a minute. Ian, do you want to do your top 5, or do you want to wait until
top 5?
Because, yeah?
We can. It's up to you. What do you want to do?
You're the man with the quiz.
Well, guess what's not here? He loses points. So I guess we can.
All right, Ian has got top 5, which is us for us every week. Ian, please top 5 us.
So
as hard as you can.
Top 5 this week is, obviously, we're going to go off brand a bit, but there's a niche. There's loosely, you'll see. So I want the top 5 richest brands in the world, according to Wikipedia. So it's the top 5 richest brands. So again, I was loosely brands. I think like brands, websites, stuff like that.
So Russell Brand.
Companies, not Russell. Not okay.
Katie
So
brand.
yes, so brands, companies, top 5. The clue is that I'll give you is they're all United States.
So well, that was a given.
So please give me top 5 of that. If you've got, I guess Jamie's going rogue again, not writing anything down.
I mean, I must admit, I wasn't really listening because I was reading something. But yes, top 5 brands or something, yeah?
Yes, top 5 brands in the world.
Okay.
According to Wikipedia.
Cool. Good. Right.
Ian,
while we think of some answers, why don't you run us through a quick? You want to run us through a quick news story on the Xbox Tavern? When you talk about Ubisoft, for your opinions on Ubisoft Plus coming to multi-access, available on Xbox now.
Well, without being rude, it's fucking overpriced, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Considering you can probably buy all those fucking games on sale and then still probably make money on it. It's ridiculous, I find. Like, the amount of times all these games are coming on sale for like £4 or £5 a pop. Like, I'm pretty much sure I own all the Far Cry's and I've probably spent less than £10 buying them all. And they're all in there. So I think it's just they needed to bring out a big game first and then go, oh, this is our big game. And now here's Ubisoft Plus as well with it. But the fact that it's just all these shitty games that's come on that pretty much everyone already owns. What's the point? There's like, I think the only one I probably would maybe consider doing is Valhalla, but I'm pretty sure Pete owns that now anyway. So again, but then it's not stealth enough. It's just fucking like so. It's like
must have done their due diligence on this as well to think: is there people that just buy consoles that just play these type of games? They must have enough of an interest to try and. I mean, because that price range is outrageous. They must have done some sort of groundwork, surely, to think, okay, where do we need to aim for this?
No, exactly that. And I haven't even mentioned anything like it's going to be like any new games and stuff like that. Going to go straight to that. It's just some of their flagship titles. Almost all the titles on there now are great, but I'm pretty sure I own most of them anyway. And it's just like it doesn't give any value whatsoever to my.
No, especially if EA couldn't pull it off. I'm not sure how Ubisoft think they're going to.
I mean, it should have been what, maybe I would say £7, maybe like half of it, like £7, $8, $9. Yeah, even I wouldn't say 10. I would say about $8, $9, like half the price of Game Pass. Because Game Pass in the US.
I think it's $15 as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, exactly that. So $7.50 on that. Like it's not worth it, or at least add it to Game Pass if they were going to try and do something.
I was going to say a lot of people saying about adding it to Game Pass like EA Play, but it's like,
Phil just said 15 in chat for
and he said it should have been $10 in the States.
I would have said like half the price of Xbox Game Pass, because you're not really adding any value for that, and because in most of the games always go on sale, and you can get them for half even third the price of that they pay for Ubisoft a month.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this a few weeks ago, or a little bit longer than that, and we went through the list of games that was in it at the time, and like you said, we either already own them, we're not interested in them.
Yeah.
So it's just
I'm looking for it now. Reality is like just like all the Assassin's Creed, pretty much played most of them already. Like I'm not interested in them anymore because obviously they went too less stealthy, so it wasn't that great. Battleships, Boggle, I played Boggle already. Child of Light was Game Pass. Family Feud, not really interested. All the Far Cry's I pretty much own. Me and Pete own them all combined because they're like always on sale for like £2-3 dollars. 4 was Game Pass. The Ghost Recon not Game Pass. Games of Gold. Ghost Recon not interested in. Again, the Monopoly played them before. Rainbow Six Extraction was Game Pass where they got it. Siege was Games of Gold, wasn't it?
Yeah.
South Park, old school. Yeah. Trackmania was Games of Gold. Watch Dogs, both of them were Games of Gold already, I think. Legion, probably the best game on there, but again, I've already completed and played it. At the end of the list, Division, again, it's like it's just they haven't done their due diligence in making it worthwhile for anyone who owns.
Yeah, and that's just really weird. It's just odd.
Yeah, it's madness. Yeah, great. I'm guessing you're not interested in the slightest either.
I mean, I wasn't. I mean, I've got plenty of stuff to play with anyway. And sort of in my younger days, if they sort of said this is like the only way you can get some of those kind of games, I mean, I was probably more excited about Assassin's Creed as the SMG and the older ones were. But it's just, I don't even know what the benefit is. Are they going to do the same thing EA Play did, but not put their brand newest games on it? Which means it'd be like the only reason to even consider something like this, putting the brand newest stuff on there. But then
they needed something to come out with it, and they haven't. They're just gone, here's all our game library for to play. But
yeah, are they going to take it all out of Game Pass as well? Are they going to strip Game Pass of all Ubisoft titles?
Well, they've taken Extraction out.
Yeah, I suppose you're right though, because there's still a couple of big Assassin's Creed in there, isn't there?
Yeah, like the only one they've taken out so far is Rainbow Six Extraction, but that again, it's usually their year cycle. So again, it came out a year ago, didn't it? Roughly this time last year. What? So some games, most Game Pass games have a year cycle, don't they? If they're new or like a year and a couple of months. So I think Rainbow Six came out February, March last year. So I can see
late January, February. Yeah.
I just can't justify it at all. I don't think I'll be actually getting it at all because there's not one there I would think, oh wow, I want to play that. And even if it came to Game Pass, like I wouldn't pay the extra money for it because I pretty much own the ones I want to play. The only one I want to think about maybe is a new Assassin's Creed that comes out in the future. But then, will they come to that Ubisoft Plus straight away? If it does, maybe I'll put £15 in for a month and try and speed run through in a month and then cancel it.
Maybe we're the anomalies. We don't see the value in it, but clearly someone
Yeah,
does.
I suppose that there are people out there who haven't already bought all the Far Cry's and all of the Rainbow Sixes and stuff like that. But yeah, it seems underwhelming, especially like you said for the cost. But
then I just want people, if they haven't bought it now, what's going to make them play? They haven't bought before, what's playing now? Even I've bought the Far Cry's and haven't fucking touched them yet. So
I think they're just seeing themselves as like an alternate description for maybe new users as a way to pull in newer users. Like you don't need Game Pass, you just need R1 if you're into our kind of games. But I thought that was kind of what EA's kind of strategy was. Is like you're just one of those that just pick up consoles to play sort of sports titles and stuff like that. Just just buy up the console and get our subscription. But even they couldn't pull it off. So I have no idea how Ubisoft goes. You know what?
Exactly,
we can succeed where they're going to fail.
Yeah, it makes no
if
sense.
you want to play the same game 100 times over, come subscribe to Ubisoft Plus. It's got a slightly different skin on it, but it's basically just
if you want to play Rainbow Six Siege every day, even though you might not already own it, come to Ubisoft Plus. Probably cheaper to buy Rainbow Six Siege than it would be to use Ubisoft month.
Yeah, and like I said, Ubisoft are notorious for putting stuff on sale pretty much straight away. So you could probably pick up most of these games, if not all of them, for the cost of maybe a couple of months membership, and then you've got them to play as and when you see fit. We'll see. Maybe they'll increase it, or maybe they will lower the price.
The only thing they might be a dick move if they take all their games out of Game Pass. But
I mean, it would make sense.
What the hell is the point of it?
Yeah, you can have Game Pass and a few of the good games, or you can subscribe to us and get the same games and games you don't really care. Yeah, it's all baffling to me. It's obviously been out on PlayStation for a while and PC, so I guess they're just bringing it to Xbox to keep
let's
parity.
skip that stupidness and let's finish it.
Makes no sense. Yes, let's get to the quiz and then we can get to the main topic, which we got a few people in the chat dropping their 5 cents in, or 2 cents, I should say, rather than 5. But let's get in there. Ian, give us the top 5.
Why am I giving top 5? You tell me your top 5.
Yeah, no, I was waiting for you to bring us back in.
Sorry. I thought you said write down my top. Well, look, I've got the answer. I can't just tell you the answer. And you go, I've got 4 of these.
Right, go on. We'll do one each, and then Ian can just say yes or no. So I'll go first. Amazon.
Jamie.
Apple.
Okay, so I can't really say because obviously you best say all your 5 first, and then I'll do that.
No, I've got that one anyway. Microsoft.
Amazon, Apple. Yeah. A few more.
Okay.
Hey, go, give me 3.
Sorry. I'm just going to go down the order I've written them. So I'll put Microsoft as well.
Microsoft. What's the other 2?
Or 3. Tesla, Coca-Cola, and he's already said Apple. Yeah.
And Jamie, what's your 5? So Microsoft.
Right, so I'll go through all 5. So Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Sony, and Disney.
Oh, they're not called Facebook. They're called Meta. J losers.
Yeah,
just in case they're in their top 5.
So 5, I guess no one will probably get because we're British, unfortunately. But Walmart.
Okay.
So it seems they're making big bucks. I think there must be not just America but elsewhere. 4 is indeed Microsoft.
Yep.
3, I'm surprised, but I don't know if you said it. Google.
Oh, of course.
Oh
Yeah.
I'm thinking 2 outside the box.
Yeah. 2 is Amazon. And number 1 is Apple. Indeed. So Graham, you win with 3 out of 5.
Yeah. Cool.
Compared to Jamie's 2.
I finally won 1.
Yeah. Nice. I'm glad I understood the question right because I wasn't really sure. I was like, I'll write down some things and see what happens. Yeah.
No, fair enough.
Good. All right.
Nice. You did good. I
Thanks,
think you got most in the top 10 because obviously the other ones outside were, if I get my list back up, it was Samsung 6, Facebook 7, ICBC, which is a Chinese brand, at 8, Huawei 9, and Verizon at 10. So you did get a couple, but yeah, unfortunately, you lost
in there with bloody Facebook, even though it's
Meta. Facebook counts. Oh, I'm being nice to him. It says Facebook on my list, but I guess
I don't know. Business again, business. Anyway, right, gentlemen, that's enough of that. Thanks very much, Ian. Top 5 every week. We keep doing it. And hopefully we can keep Ross off the scoreboard because that's where he needs to be. Sorry, Ross. Gentlemen.
Let's go to the main topic.
Let's go to the main topic. So we've got some people in the chat talking about it already. So let's go and carry on with this. Redfall has, Arcane, I should say, have come out with a tweet this week. And they've announced it on Xbox Series X and S at launch, which is about 3 weeks away. we're going to be locked to 30 frames per second and either 4K or 1440p on X and S, stuff like that. Obviously, the entire of the internet imploded at the thought of not getting 60 frames a second, without realizing perhaps that we've pretty much been playing 30 frames a second games for the last 50 years, and it's only in sort of recent times that we got more used to 60 frames, which is nice, but not essential. I'm going to give my quick thoughts, and then we'll sort of go on the round table here. I played Deathloop, Dishonored, Dishonored 2, Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, all at 30 frames per second, all perfectly playable. In fact, Deathloop, I could have chose to play at 60, and I actually turned it back to 30 so I could have slightly nicer visuals. And again, 60 is nice, 60 is lovely, but after about 20 seconds, I didn't really notice any difference, and it was more than smooth enough, perfectly playable. Even people like John Linneman of Digital Foundry said he's happy to play stuff at 30 frames as long as it's a consistent 30 and not juddery, which I think is what most people are getting confused about. They're getting angry because even at 30, some things like Assassin's Creed still tend to stutter or slow down and stuff like that. Whereas Arcane, obviously, it depends on how you're playing and what game you're playing and stuff, but they've not really had any
what TV you've got
issues
as well,
and what TV you've got and stuff like that. But I mean, as long as it's consistent 30, there's gonna be no problem. Everyone's like, "What? Redfall's a first-person shooter. It needs to be 60." We played. What did we play? Halo. We played Rainbow Six. We played. I know Gears isn't the first, but Gears. We played. How many first-person shooters on the 360 and Xbox One, and even on the Xbox Series X? I'm sure at 30 frames, no problem. 60 is much better. In sort of technicality, yes, but
like I say, it's locked to 30 at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're bringing a performance mode, a 60 frames per second mode out in the near future, just after launch. They haven't given it a date, but I can guarantee that when it comes out, the only people who care will be the tech analysts and the very few fanboys on there going, "Oh, this is the way it was meant to be played," or they'll look at it and be like, "It runs at 57 frames a second now. I can't believe you've done this to us." So yeah, I mean, it's just there's no need for people to panic. It's gonna be fucking brilliant. Hopefully we get our hands on it. Well, a couple of weeks, like I said, when it comes to Game Pass.
It's like I've always said, it's gameplay over graphics.
Yeah,
it has to be. As long as the gameplay is awesome, nailed on, fun, then I don't give a fuck how good the graphics are. Because some of my favorite games are pretty shit graphics compared to not even 30 frames at all. And it has to be good gameplay, and that's the main thing. I don't care about 60 frames. I want fun gameplay. I'm not going, "Oh, look at the pretty flowers. Oh, look at the pretty building. Oh, look at the light." No, I'm thinking, "Look at that badass fucking zombie I'm going to shoot in the face."
But Ian, how are you supposed to shoot him in the face at 30 frames a second?
Oh no, my
Graham, I don't know how sort of technically interested you are in all this sort of stuff, but do you think that would be a problem? I know you're not interested in Redfall massively.
No, it's not going to be a problem. It's an FPS. Those ones, it's fast-paced action. It's always going to be quite hard to maintain a high frame rate. So it's not that big a deal. Yeah. And like they said as well, it not being sort of PvP as such a co-op, makes sense. It's just not that to panic about. I think it's because PC players are sport. They can go up to like 120 frames, etc., and on a lot of their stuff. And
which I believe on PC
they have to pay a
will be
premium for. Yeah, you have to pay a premium. Yep, it's on an Xbox console that is doing a lot more, and it's just what it is. They're trying to make it so it's suitable for that, and we're not paying that massive premium that PC players are to get it at that higher frame rate. And as Ian said, gameplay is much more important. As long as it doesn't see like massive tearing, it doesn't look like it's old-fashioned or dated. Gameplay is where it's all at.
And like I say, it's, for me, like if you put in the three categories of gameplay, story, and graphics, it will go gameplay, story, graphics. Because I don't give a fuck. Sometimes it's some of the shittiest storylines, as long as it's got great gameplay. As I'm with Diablo, I can't fucking tell you the storyline in Diablo, but I fucking enjoyed the gameplay.
Because you skipped it.
Hey, don't tell Peter that. But like I say, I don't care sometimes. I just want to play the game, have some fun, and maybe think about the storyline later. But the graphics is just nothing. Like some games are just don't need most games don't need 60 frames. I think it's just a fad that's come out and people are going, "Oh, look at this! I can't play the game with 60." Your TV's probably shit enough that you can't even fucking notice the difference.
But that's the thing again. Like 60 for the most part, 60 is noticeable and a preferred option for if you put it there, as well as you can have your nice shiny visuals as well. But there's nothing wrong with 30. That's what I don't understand. Like we've been playing games at 30 for years. I know things have come a long way, but like I said, I actively turned it on to 30 frames because it played nicer and felt nicer and looked nicer for me. And granted, people are saying, it's a shooter. And Deathloop was a shooter, but not so much. Like it was quite a lot of stealth as well, whereas this is probably going to be a bit more action heavy. It really doesn't matter why. And it's not like we're not getting 60 frames. 60 frames is coming down the line when you can play. It's not going to go away anywhere. Keep playing. Keep fucking. It doesn't make any sense.
It just sounds like
I don't understand the outrage.
Current consoles don't just have the guts for it. I mean, every sort of one that plays it, you can either play it at performance mode for a higher frame rate or quality mode with higher graphics. It doesn't seem like they can handle both. So it just seems like maybe just the consoles don't have the guts for it. I just wish they would just be honest about it. It's clearly what it is. Why can't you do both?
The whole sort of selling point of this next generation PS5 and Series X was 120 frames, 4K visuals, but then they come out and, like you said, we're getting the option of one or the other, not both. And people, I think, getting used to having 60 frames and relatively decent scale. But if part of why I play console games is because I want to put a disc in or download the game, whatever, and just play it. I don't want to be sitting around pissing around in fucking menus, turning my V-Sync up or farting around with shadow detail and stuff. I just want to play. And if they say this is the way we want you to play it for now, I'm going to play it that way. Thank you very much. I will throw a quick devil's advocate into the words before you get back to you, Ian. Sorry. In their defense, in the angry people's defense, all the previews that have come out over the last couple of weeks, they've all been at 60 frames, but that's because they're playing on PC, which again will offer you the option of going to 60 and 120 and 5,000 probably if you've got a decent enough rig.
That's what I was going to ask, because the PC version is 60 frames, isn't it, already? It's just
I think PC you can do whatever you want, but it's
just
far
a
as
console. That's not
for now. It's going to be locked at 30, but 4K.
I'll just play my PC then.
But then
I
think what I don't understand is people are saying that it's unplayable at 30 frames. But again, like I said just now, we've been playing at 30 frames for fucking years with no issue. Plague Tale come out last year. I saw that people mentioning that because that's one of the games that was locked at 30 and they haven't done anything about it since, really.
Well, no, because most people have played and completed and gone, okay, cool.
Yeah, and I think I said at the time when it first started, I was like, "Oh, something's a bit different here," because I've been playing other games at 60 and stuff. But it took maybe a couple of minutes, and then from there, didn't even notice it and didn't even consider it until I started reading the outrage and stuff online about it. I was like, "Is it? Oh, so it is. Oh, well, never mind. Carry on. I'm just enjoying this fucking fantastic game." And it's just everyone's obviously looking for something to get angry about these days, and they've chosen a few frames on an Xbox game to be mad about this week instead of something more relevant.
Yeah, I wish I never opened the comments up. I just went and looked at the comments about the tweet, and it's just my brain's literally hurting from reading some of the comments now. I avoided it all until now.
Yeah, and again, I understand because again, it's out in a couple of weeks, and they've chosen now to be like, "Oh, by the way, you're not going to get this," which I understand. People have been like,
"It's good to be honest and transparent."
Yeah, but again, like, they're treating it like they've gone, do you know what? As soon as you turn on Redfall, your cat's going to fucking explode. And then you're going to have to sit there and stare at his corpse while the game... No, you're going to have to play a 30 frames. Oh, no. It's the end of the world. Yeah, I don't understand. We got Mitchy Poo in the chat here. I think you addressed him, Ray, but he said about... He wondered if the 30 frames per second only at launch is related to the decision to address the online only issue people were upset about. So obviously it's an online only game at the minute, but they've also said they're looking to get rid of that. So I mean, they've not had the best sort of pre-launch hype because every time someone's like, "This game's really good," and they're like, "Oh, by the way, you can't play offline, and now you can't play at 60 frames, and also only the host gets progression, everyone else sort of just bumps along whenever. But the game's gonna be good." Blah, blah, blah. I think that's the other thing as well. Everybody's so used to Xbox shit in the bed at the minute and more negative stuff coming out rather than positive. Or every time they get like a 1 step forward, 2 steps back type thing, this is just the latest in a long line of not issues, but things that are not perceived so well. I think that also didn't help. But again, it's something so fucking daft to get upset about. I can't remember. It was just some random Twitter user. I think they put, I can't play this because 30 frames is literally unplayable. Now, literally, you physically cannot play at 30 frames a second. If you can't, I don't like. I'm terribly sorry.
Well, you just want to go find his account and go. All these games you're playing are 30 frames per second, mate.
Literally,
you want to calm down.
Issues out there.
Yeah. It does make sense. And as Phil says here in the chat, he says that IGN put out their preview recently, which I didn't actually get to watch their gameplay trailer, but everybody was shit on it. I don't know if it was because the person playing was bad, or if the quality of the video was bad, or if just the level they were showing off was bad. But sometimes they proper got people upset, and then obviously then this come out just after that, and then everyone's gone.
The thing is, I start to avoid some of IGN's video things. It looks like Stevie Wonder's fucking playing some of their games when they're doing it. It's dreadful. Like sometimes the ones they do where they discuss about speedrunners are brilliant, but some of the gameplay ones are like, fucking hell, do you have to actually play a game?
Yeah, I mean, again, sometimes it's people from the devs playing it, and they're trying to sort of, because obviously I imagine they're probably quite good at it, they're trying to sort of dumb it down so we can sort of keep up. Sometimes it's people playing while they're talking. Sometimes it's people, like you said, that may not be very good at shooters or whatever, trying to play a shooter and not really getting the hang of it. But it's
or Dan.
Oh, Dan. I mean, Dan's. Hi, Dan. Love you, Dan. It just. I think as the title of our podcast is, do we really care? I don't really care. I'm going to play it regardless.
Nope. As long as it's fun, I can play with you bitches. I'm happy.
Yeah, right. And Graham doesn't care either way because he's not going to want to play it, so it's fine.
He's going to have to play it. Could be Project Game Pass, baby.
Project Game Pass.
No, I said I'd play it, but I'm expecting a sort of a Left 4 Dead style game. But I could be surprised.
Don't upset me.
Like I said, I understand the frustration from some people, and I understand why, not why people are piling on, but why people are sort of. Yeah, I think that's what someone was saying. It's almost like the straw that broke the camel's back, but it's such a small straw that the camel probably just got back up and was like, "The hell was that? Oh, never mind. Let's carry on." So let's just move on. Let's just play the game. If when you play it and it feels dreadful and it looks dreadful and it is, as mate you said, literally unplayable, come back at us. Tell us we're wrong. Tell us we don't know anything. But remember, be nice, you cunts. Hashtag. But come tell us we're wrong. Don't play the game. Then
play it first, and then
give them shit. Give them or any not abuse, but be like, look, you couldn't even get around 16. It feels horrible. It doesn't play very well. Fix it right now. If you play it and you think, oh, actually, this isn't that bad, then go back to them again and say, actually, you know what? I was wrong. I would prefer 60, but 30 is perfectly playable. And I suspect that no one will do that because they won't want to admit they're wrong. But as soon as it drops to 29 frames a second, people are going to get fucking mad.
Yeah. Well,
we'll see in just a few weeks on 2nd of May when it is out in Game Pass. And I'm very much looking forward to checking it out. And hopefully we'll definitely play it because, like you said, it'll be Project Game Pass for the month of May. But speaking of Project Game Pass, gentlemen, we've picked a game called Ghostwire Tokyo, another Xbox, well, not exclusive, but first party title which came to Game Pass just a few weeks ago. Well, no, a few days ago. Sorry. Has anybody had a chance to check it out yet? I must admit I haven't because, like I said, I'm playing this other stuff. Don't talk about it yet. I will play
How
it.
could you disgrace?
I know, I will play it very soon.
Oh my god, it looks like I'm the only one that has done. I
think Graham is the only one that's played it. So we played a bit Ghostwire Tokyo. Like I said, if you're not familiar, Project Game Pass, we pick a game from Game Pass every month. We play it, we talk about it, we discuss it, we give a quick rating / review at the end of the month, and then we move on to next game. And like I said, Ghostwire Tokyo. Graham, sounds like you're the only one who's actually checked it out. If you want to go check it out, tell us about your opinions.
Yes.
Special guest Pete coming to chat. He put me off. He said we're on the live speakers in Sainsbury's, so don't swear.
And literally, as soon as he said
that, hashtag be nice.
You swore, and then as soon as he did that, you swore. I was like,
nice.
Okay, well, there we go.
But yeah, the intro to it is quite bizarre, and then it's like, nope, hold my beer. We can get more bizarre than this. And yeah, I don't even, it hasn't explained enough. I assume you find out a bit more what the hell is going on as it goes on. I mean, do you guys want me to sort of mention the story bit at the start? Bit? Are you aware of it?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, it's been out for a year on PlayStation. It's just come to Xbox, but we're going to play it anyway, so you might as well tell us the.
Just
the
don't do too
opening
many heavy
section.
spoilers, but do
Well,
what
there isn't. I don't know the answers. This guy, just a Japanese guy, I think, trying to get to see his sister in the hospital because it looks like she might be passing soon. And as he rides, there's this fog that appears, puts him off, and he ends up in a crash. And so does a lot of people. And then as he rises from his crash, his face is kind of half taken off by like a black cloud thing, not as in like mutilated. He's got like a black cloud that's taken over his face, and his hand's gone a bit semi-electrical, similar to how the guy's hand looked in that Atomic Heart. It looked a bit robotic in a way. And then there's no one else around except for some weird blue ghosts. And I don't know if they're like the souls of the dead that's around, but nothing was making any sense. There was no one. It looked like there was no one left alive anymore. But whatever this black thing was, your face is joined with your psyche, and it's talking to you in your head, saying, "It's my body now. Give it up," because he thought he was dead, and basically he's kind of talking to himself or the thing that's part of his face. And basically there's these ghostly Slenderman looking dudes coming at you, and then you start firing these weird like Hadoukens from your hand. There you go. And you see the cut on this screenshot, the couple of Slenderman looking dudes and the lady, whatever thing's from the village in Resident Evil, coming at you, and you just sort of firing sort of balls at them to sort of kill them. And there's sort of ethery kind of sparkly blocks that are around that you hit to sort of gain, I assume it's some sort of experience, and nothing's really explained. And then the guy that you saw in the mask, with the devil mask with the horns thing, starts talking on the TV monitor saying basically they're taking over something. Still nothing's really kind of explained. Just like, okay, so he's a bad guy, you're either semi-dead, something's taken over your head, and you can now fire kind of fireballs at these Slenderman looking dudes. And yeah, that's as kind of as far as I've got in. It's all a bit of a confusing mess. The story's all over the place, and I guess more become revealed as you move. But yeah, and yeah, the souls of enemies get taken into those Hellraiser cubes that sort of float around in the sky. So there you go. You can see that's how you crash, and then you see the black thing on his face there.
Okay.
And yeah,
in the video, but yeah, we're getting a sort of gameplay trailer in. He's melting into the tarmac of a Tokyo street by the looks of it. Well,
yeah, but it's very, very confusing. The story doesn't make too much sense, but he's still trying to get to the hospital to see his sister, and that's where I've got to. I've sort of ran in the sister, done a couple of floors, killed a few Slendermans, and leveled up, and I've now doing like a charged Hadouken thing, which is elemental, that's what they were saying, but there's quite a multitude of sort of skill trees, and he starts doing some sort of Naruto kind of finger movements before casting. You can see that there he's doing it looks very Naruto, sort of fireball. And yeah, it's, I assume, or assuming there's a lot more in that intro video that I just haven't seen yet, but yeah, I imagine there's a lot to discover and a lot more story to unfold, but it's a bit of a confusing mess at the moment.
I think it got some middling reviews, yeah, especially because Peter's put up a comment. He's having fun with insert generic FPS with gimmicks.
Yeah,
yeah, it's definitely a title I'm interested in, but it got some decent reviews on PS5. I think Jez Corden, I saw reviewed it on Windows Central for the Xbox version, and he said that it was the same sort of game, obviously, but for some reason the Series X was having like massive performance problems, which again is not going to help anything with like the Redfall discussion we just had a minute ago.
Yeah, there was definitely some tearing in quality mode.
Yeah,
I had to turn it to performance mode because it was just, the screen was cutting in half.
I think
As you turn.
Dan was saying as well something about a default camera settings were making him feel quite sick, so he had to go in and adjust it to either speed it up or work some sort of magic to try and make him feel a
No,
bit
I might
comfortable
look into
playing
that. I haven't got far enough for it to be a problem yet.
Yeah, so we're gonna play some more throughout the month and discuss it and give our sort of podcast verdict as we always do, and then we'll move on to Redfall for the month of May, and then months and that beyond we'll find out what other games are coming out. But yeah, interesting looking game. But it doesn't sound like it's grabbed either Graham or indeed some of the guys in the comments.
Not
very strong.
Yeah, I think they say, like Mitchie says, it's one of you've got to try for yourself, and I think I will. Just
you should have to. It's part of the game. Is already.
Yeah,
You
and
feel
maybe-
you will.
yeah,
of course I will.
as Mitchie Poo here says in the chat, he says it's a podcast listening game for me. So why don't you listen to Xbox Tavern's Xpod Tavern while you play it? Everybody out there, obviously you're already listening to us, so go play Ghostwire Tokyo while you listen to us waffle on about Ghostwire Tokyo. That'd be wonderful.
Submit some of your reviews via the comments so we can read them out.
Indeed, yeah. Come back next week, get involved in the chat, and tell us what your sort of updated opinions, and bring your friends and family and everyone along for a wonderful, wonderful time.
at 8 p.m.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Ian. Nice. Okay, so yes, that's Project Game Pass. So that's us done with that for this week. We'll get back to some more Project Game Pass next week, gentlemen. I think we're not far off rounding off the end of the day, are we?
No,
You tell me.
Well, I was asking you because I closed my document like a bell end.
well,
Right.
Usually we're going to have to say what's coming in and what's leaving.
Partnership
Indeed,
with
so-
EE.
Games. Do we want to talk about the partnership with EA? Is there anything really to discuss there? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know what to say about it.
have partnered up with EE for a 10-year partnership, as they're doing with everyone at the minute, trying to get this bloody Activision Blizzard deal through. I think they're already partnered with them with some sort of cloud deal. So I think it was
Do
either
you get like free?
you
what
either
do you
get
get?
three months of Game Pass, or when you stream using data, it doesn't use any of your data up while you're playing Game Pass
Okay.
xCloud games. I forget the details exactly, and I don't think this thing is anything really more information than that. But yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, they're partnering up with fucking everybody. Everyone's saying, "Hello, Xbox. Do you want to partner up with Xbox Tavern's Xpod Tavern for a 10-year deal?" I don't know what we can offer you or what you can offer us, but let's partner up anyway. And this is
Subscription to Only Dan's.
what I mean. They can have a couple of free subs to Only Dan's. Why the hell not, eh? Wait, Special Guest Pete's dropping some bombs in the chat here. Do we want to hear about my legendary FM save? How do we ban someone from the chat?
Hey,
Find,
he got Albion waivers into the Scottish Prem.
Well done,
That's,
Special Guest Pete. You can come on one week when you're free and tell us all about it. Maybe next week, because I don't think I'm here next week. Right, gentlemen. Let's round off the show, shall we? Thank you very much for everybody who's been listening / watching / commenting so far. It's been wonderful, very active this week. It's always exciting to see. We're going to talk about things coming to Game Pass, and Ross isn't here, so I shall do this job for you very quickly. Daniel, get ready to clip this under 60 seconds. Away we go. Right, coming to Game Pass. Like I said, Ghostwire Tokyo just come in. We've got NHL 23, which has just come in on console. We've got Minecraft Legends, which is out in a couple of days. Our review of that will be up hopefully this week as well. We've got Coffee Talk episode 2 on the 20th of April. Homestead Arcana on the 21st. Cassette Beast on the 26th. And the last case of Benedict Fox on the 27th. So, yeah, some exciting looking games. Game Pass very soon. Ian. Things are leaving us, though. And tell us all about things that are going away from Game Pass, please.
Unfortunately, the list is not updated yet because no games have been announced to be leaving. They're getting announced tomorrow because games just left yesterday.
That's terribly. Do you want to shout out one or two that left so we can let people know what they're missing out on?
They did miss out on Life is Strange. I see your true colors.
How did I know you'd pick that one?
Yeah.
And what else left recently? Oh, Moonglow Bay. That was not too bad game.
Yeah, that was.
What else left? I can't remember.
Yeah, well, there was
That's
a
what I
few
thought.
Disney games, but it doesn't matter now because they've gone. So yeah, keep your eye on
Exactly.
the Game Pass tab. They always tell you what leaving, and they give you like a good 30-day notice, is it? I think
15 days. Usually it's announced. So it'll be announced tomorrow what game's going to leave on the 30th. So there's no 31st in April. 30th.
Yeah. So
Yes, the games just left was Life is Strange, Moonglow Bay, Panzer Corps 2, Dungeons of Nahlukebeck, Long Dark, Riftbreaker, and Rainbow Six Extraction. I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more Ubisoft games being announced to be leaving this month.
Yeah, I'll be surprised, like you said earlier on YouTube, like with Ubisoft Plus, see the Assassin's Creeds and the Rainbow Six. I think Far Cry 5's in there as well. So, yeah, all the good games are in Game Pass. So we'll get them leaving soon. Graham, it's not all about Game Pass, so it's all about legacy things such as Games of Gold, and we've got a few offerings we can go pick up should we wish.
Yep. So we have Out of Space Couch Edition, which is available until April the 30th. And just coming in today, we've got Peaky Blinders Mastermind from now until May the 15th.
Go check them out. They're always free. We've got just quickly before I read some reviews out, we've got Phil asking, what do we think about last case of Benedict Fox? I'm assuming. I'm very much looking forward to it. Looks right up my street. Ian, I think it's probably more up your street as well, rather than Gray. You keen to check this out on the 27th?
Yes, I'm trying to think which one it was.
This 2D puzzle action, like purpley and blacks and
yeah. I'm just saw big image now. Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Yeah, that's coming out towards the end of the month, isn't it?
27th of April, yes.
There we go, straight to Game Pass. I think I'll definitely be checking it out.
Yeah, it looks very interesting indeed.
Yeah, it looks more like you say, anything puzzly keeps me happy.
and hopefully we'll have a review of that up on xboxtavern.com. But speaking of reviews, you can go and find plenty of them up this week. You've done me proud, everybody. Well done. We've been smashing out a lot of reviews recently, going almost one every day pretty much this week. So we've had Road 96 Mile Zero review from James. He gave it 6.6. Murderous Muses, like I said earlier on, my reviews up there 7.5, as well as The Last Worker at 9.2. And just earlier on today, Not for Broadcast by Jake went up with 9.5. Fantastic looking FMV game again, which is more choose your own adventure, but you're controlling like a live TV broadcast. So you get to decide what's shown on TV at certain points. You get to bleep out swears and stuff, which special guest Pete probably would have done earlier on when we were on Sainsbury's loudspeaker. Hello, everybody in Sainsbury's. Don't forget to pick up all the best offers and give your man special guest Pete some love when you see him. But that'll do us, I think, for this week. We've been going long enough. No Xbox Tavern After Dark for those Patreon subscribers of you. We're all very tired and very old at this point in this time. But in the meantime, you can find us at Xbox Tavern on Twitter. You can find us on TikTok and Discord and Facebook and all sorts of other places.
And OnlyFans.
Yeah, one day. And youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official, which is where we record this podcast each and every Sunday at 8 p.m.
Ish.
That was fucking pathetic. What was that?
Ish.
Jesus Christ, I'll do it myself next time. Right, anyway, we've done that. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening, commenting, and getting involved in the chat. You've been the heroes. We love you. And we shall see you next week.
Thank you very much, guys.
Goodbye. Have fun.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Ba-la-ba-bow-bow.